Alright, boys, welcome back. The second I brought us in, I did just realize that it is not showing the fact that OpTic won that first map in the score thing up the top, but that shouldn't be too big of a deal. Hopefully that will be updated soon. But yeah, of course, OpTic with a very dominant win back on Mirage. 16-8, it was their map choice, so I guess not too surprising that they were able to pull that off. But of course now, coming into Overpass, HellRaisers map choice OpTic. Because of that, they start on the CT side. And will HellRaisers be able to step it up and take it on towards Inferno as the decider is the question. We're gonna find out. We're gonna watch this game. We're gonna find out, and hopefully we're gonna have some very interesting CS. It's a Dead Fox and Angel who pick up utility early on, and again, OpTic similar to what we've seen on their CT pistol back on Mirage. They do not bother picking up a defuse kit. Instead, 5 sets of Kevlar, and seemingly they want to try and get aggressive. But that's not starting as they would have hoped already. Snappy actually does get shut down. Yugi drops the bomb. But again, trades coming in back and forth right now. This could still really go either way, but it's looking favored for HR. And there's Issa. He doubles down. Dead Fox going to find one on config elsewhere. And suddenly it's only Yugi that remains. He has to pull off an ace clutch. And that's not going to happen because, of course, HellRaisers realize that the B-bomb site is open for the taking. Oh, Yugi eventually gets that one kill. But yeah, still 3 more to deal with. No defuse kit as the bomb should be planted within the next 5 or so seconds, pretty much. I wouldn't really fancy his chances coming into this. Maybe a few kills. An extra $300 per kill, of course, on that USP is always nice to pick up. But it's not going to happen. There's Issa with the final. And HellRaisers, this time around, they do pick up that opening pistol. Longest 10-second of your life. Yeah, well, I said that, but the problem is there's a little bit of delay. It's more stream delay than normal because, I send it to ESL basically at an ingest. They stream it to Twitch, Facebook, and YouTube. So there's like the extra delay of it being sent to them and then them sending it live. So I didn't lie, guys, I swear. It wasn't even 10 seconds after I said that before I brought it in live, alright? But yeah, a better start here for HellRaisers, of course. They're up against the Eco now. Yugi having found some kills is able to get a deagle, which is kind of surprising. I would have preferred to have actually seen him just keep that money. Would have had $2650 on top of that, and of course getting $2,400 in the next round. That would have given him, if he wanted, a glass cannon up. So strange that he invests into this one. Who won knife round? There's no knife round in this one. In the first 2 maps, the team that choose the map give the side choice rather over to the other side. So since HellRaisers chose this map, OpTic get the side choice. I really failed at describing that, actually explaining that for a couple seconds, but we're good now. Cajun, oh, should get at least 1 kill. Problem is, it's very difficult to get back off of that boost in a swift fashion. Traded back on. Weapon, of course, not going to be retrievable as we do see HellRaisers now commit towards B. The 8K is having a very easy time so far. This config eventually also gets finished off, leaving it all on Yugi. That deagle does actually find 1. Let's see if he can find another. If he gets 1 more kill, then that gives him enough to get the glass cannon up again. Nah, not able to do it, sadly. 4650, and that's why I didn't want them to invest into that deagle, in all honesty. I wanted to see him get the op out into this first gun round. But instead, probably going to go for an M4 or AUG. And there you have it, the M4 comes out. Let's see, can OpTic pick up this first gun round? That was something that HellRaisers struggled with back on Mirage. As we see, Woxic creeping up the Molotov. It burns him a little bit. That gives away his position. Spots the head of Yugi and takes down config as well. An interesting setup there towards the party position, but it didn't work out for OpTic. Already going down into a heavily unfavorable position with a 3v5 to try and recover from. HellRaisers with 1 minute and 15 seconds. Don't have to try and rush into things. They can keep holding. And it's OpTic at this point that do have to try and make the plays happen. Refresh being spotted. As I said, they do need to try and make some plays happen to pull this round back, but it's going to be tough. Damage being taken by Refresh, eventually finished off. I'm sure Snappy finds the one on long, but it's still going to be very difficult for them to try and hold this down. And actually looks like HellRaisers is going to try and sell a little bit of a fake. Cajun pushed up towards B Water. May have a chance to try and hold this down. If he can find potentially 2 kills, that could be worthwhile. Divido gets the first and a second. The dink towards Issa. Almost holding that down, but even though he does eventually fall, that's given a chance to Snappy. This nade could do it, but Issa, he turns away just as the nade goes in. That was very fortunate. As we can see, actually, now the bomb making its way back up to A, where currently Woxic has walked onto and taken control of for free. Snappy at this point going to have a very tough retake at hand. No defuse kit again in possession. But as he comes up, the potential for the first kill definitely there. Quickly finds Woxic, and of course, a single bullet enough to finish off Issa now. Falling back into the bathrooms. Goes for the peek, and even on low health, does manage to find it. Snappy realizing, of course, that without that fuse key, he couldn't really try and stay near the bomb. Wanted to just take the fight and run back over to it. Could have tapped it, of course, and tried to bait the peek out into the open, but was aware that Issa was very low health. That would have been called by Cajun, so maybe expecting Issa to take a gamble and not really peek it at all, rather. And he was hoping that would let him close in the distance, but didn't work out. HellRaisers picking up that opening gun round and taking a quick 3-0 lead here. As OpTic again going to be just put back to the pistols, the Eagles and the CZ. How old am I? I am 20. Oh, config. Okay, there's a quick Deeg headshot. We know that there's definitely some players on the OpTic side that can be dangerous with these weapons. Pretty much everyone, actually. Even Snappy can get some snappy little headshots, as his name would suggest. NA Molly. Or TR Molly. Probably not what he was aiming for, but not a big deal. Probably won't cost him too much, but of course still with the demand disadvantage from that initial being found. Cajun spots someone creeping out a monster. That's Issa. Doesn't get the kill, but does a bit of damage, and that may scare Issa off a little bit. She doesn't want to keep pushing forward, but eventually gets overwhelmed. The double peek comes in, and as we can see, HellRaisers have gone ahead and actually focus this attack towards B at this point. They've gone ahead and actually rotated everyone around, and OpTic with 3 players already to try and hold it down. Trades coming back in though, the rifles finding success. And suddenly a 2v2 in play. Config coming up with the D. Can he get this done? Gets the first potential to stop the bomb plant, but it's not going to happen. Bomb goes down, a 1v2 for Hobbit to try and save this round. As Yuki from behind could be the one to end things. Took a while there to take that kill on Config. And took a bullet because of a 17 health. 1 for Yugi is all he needs to connect, but a headshot from Hobbit would be enough to shut it down. But there we go, Yugi finds it. It looked like Hobbit was going to be able to actually come in with that kill very quickly, but again, as I said, he was so low that he just didn't have much of an opportunity. Yugi, plenty of time for the defuse, of course. Gets an AK for himself. I don't believe there was an op in play in this round, so not going to be able to find one. But OpTic, of course, they pretty much ecoed fully into that round. They just spent some excess cash, and that means coming into this, all of them have above 6,000. We should see them get the op out easily. Cajun buys that up and drops it over to Yugi and takes an AK in return. As we head into now a round that is crucial for both sides, because actually HellRaisers on a very weak economy now. Woxic has invested heavily into an AK and body armor, which is a little bit strange. That means if HellRaisers lose this round, they probably won't buy in the next, just because Woxic is so low. Angel getting $1,900 will be at 3,800, so I guess he can at least get the AK and armor, but that would mean no utility, so potentially would have to go for a weaker weapon. So strange they've invested so much. There's Yugi already with an opening kill. Hobbit goes down. Nice little pixel angle from Config as well. I'm not going to be actually spotting that right now, so that could let the HellRaisers players swap cross over. Oh, hang on, this could be dangerous. Woxic waiting to see if he can catch someone creeping through the bathrooms, or else see if there's an upper peek in that corner, but not the case right now. They do eventually just go for the peaks and allow for at least one trade to be found. As I say that, a second comes in from Issa, so suddenly actually Snappy under a lot of pressure. He's alone on this A bomb site right now, has to at least try and stay alive or find a couple kills. And he is able to find one alongside some damage on Woxic, rather. So a 2v2, the retake gonna have to come in now for Occasion and Refresh. And they do at least have that defuse kit alongside one flash. Dead Fox without Kevlar, the other player on 4 health. But it won't matter if Dead Fox is just finding quick headshots like this. All on the Occasion now. A 1v2 knows where Deadfox is positioned, of course, behind this bomb site. Not sure of Woxic, but he is actually going to be able to find that quick headshot down to the 1v1, and he closes it out. Cajun saves the day in a very crucial round that OpTic could not afford to lose, as it would have completely destroyed their economy. He steps it up when it matters. A second for OpTic. But a bomb plant coming in for HellRaisers actually does give them the buy into this one, so you can scratch everything I said at the beginning of that previous round. That extra $800 per player will give them plenty of money. Will Deadfox drop an op is the question. The Woxic. He's 6250. No, we're going to go for the rifle. I guess we can maybe see a bit of a faster round. Problem is here for OpTic, of course, going down to just one player alive in that previous round means they have no money in the bank. So a chance here for HellRaisers to get that reset and break their money early on. No second English stream? No, I don't believe so right now, sadly. Woxic opens up again. Yugi already being eliminated. That's the up down early on. And another kill from Angel to be caught just as that smoke blooms. Snappy's gone, and pretty much so is the A bomb site. Oh, I was going to say, if Deadfox held that a couple extra seconds, he probably would have found Config, but instead now, Config does have a chance to make a play. Coming in from behind, will this be watched is the question. Coming in through the smoke, should find at least one, but as he pounces on that immediately, of course, now that means his position is known. So, gonna be a little bit more difficult for him to find more. Bomb should indeed be planted. And actually, he's been flanked out himself. Issa coming up through connector. Does he have any idea, rather, is the question. And it definitely seemed like he did, because he turned around. But against that AK, Issa just too quick on the headshots. Please say finance, that is not economy. What do you mean, bro? Definitely economy. Sorry, I don't speak Ireland. Need English stream. I'm definitely speaking English right now. That's all I can say. There we go. HellRaisers with that reset. I said that, of course, OpTic only living with one player in the round before that. Meant they had no money built up. They fully invested into that round number 6 right there. So, tough one. Saving an M4 and a UMP at least, but they are going to eco around it. Even with that Yuki on 1400, won't be able to buy next round. So, it's a pretty tough position right here for OpTic to be in. HellRaisers should find a 5th relatively easily. And potentially a 6th as well. Question, am I a full-time caster or do I have another part-time work? I'm a full-time caster. Some action about to be found on long and in connector actually. Angel does win that fight out. Up next it's going to be Config and actually Cajun as well, so they do have this M4 on long. Cajun can probably find something from the tree. He's actually just going to hide and try and play a little bit extra safe. And that doesn't really work out. Maybe if he peeked a second earlier and tried to help Config, he would have found more, but it didn't work out. Snappy find them one as well. A bit of damage at least being brought in. But of course, HellRaisers do take that 5th round. And it looks like we are going to see OpTic actually buy into this one. But look, averaging just over $4,000. It gives them, sure it gives them the rifles rather, but very little utility. Yugi, of course, going to have to go down to a scout, only sitting at 3,600 at the beginning of that round. And it's just not a great buy. It's going to be a tough one for them to make work. HellRaisers, if they find this, likely going to get 7 off the back of it. So it's a rough position for OpTic to be in right now. What was the result of the G2 match? I can actually check that for you if you want. The G2 versus Forza game. It's still going on. G2 won the first map 16-5. It's on the second map right now, which is this 2. But let's focus back on this game for now. Snappy with a quick headshot on the AUG. You can see though elsewhere, of course, HellRaisers, they were able to find a 2-for-1 trade overall. Refresh and Cajun B being taken down early on. And of course, with still well over a minute remaining, they are going to just be able to slow things down at this point. Looking to try and reapproach this time towards A, it seems. And this has been a position that they have been exploiting so far. We haven't seen them hit B too much in the later round. At least not over these past few rounds. At the beginning, they kind of were the pistol, for example, and the ecos as well. But for the past couple, they have been favouring that A-bomb site, and I think OpTic have come to kind of notice that. The problem is they need to hit their shots. Config now has one player creeping out onto B. The timing may not work in his favour. His back now actually being exposed, as he does get one. That's all that's allowed, of course. Positioned and noted by Woxic for an easy trade. All on Yugi. Scout in his hands and 3 opponents to try and actually deal with, as a smoke towards heaven pretty much negates any effect that he could potentially have. There you go, the final kill comes in. Yugi eliminated, and as I said, HellRaisers taking that gun round against OpTic likely gives them 7, as this one is going to have to be that eco. I don't know if they are working with a decent loss bonus. I should be able to check the amount of rounds they've lost in a row in HLTV, actually. Again, when you're playing, when it's an ECA server, it doesn't show the rounds in the middle of the screen right there like it should on the scoreboard, so sometimes I do lose track. But yeah, it's been now 3 rounds in a row for HellRaisers, so not too bad. OpTic at least going to be getting $2,900 into this next round, so a solid buy will be available. But right now, HellRaisers looking really good here, like they do indeed want to send it over to Inferno as the decider. And of course, Inferno I think would be a great matchup between these two teams to end the best of 3. Yes, sir. Upper legs. There you go, indeed, able to deal with that one quickly. Snappy creeping up close. Could have a chance maybe, but no. It's perfect with the crosshair placement. Leaving it all on refresh now. And we should see HellRaisers pretty soon just grabbing that bomb. Pretty much no matter what site they actually bring it towards, as long as they stick as a group, they shouldn't have any trouble in this round forward. Caster died? No, I did not. The only CSGO or also other games. I have dabbled in other games. Only dabbled though. Small bit of Overwatch for like Irish tournaments. Bit of a game called Battalion 1944. Most people probably haven't heard of it because it's a long story. But yeah, I've tried other ones. CSGO is definitely my main game though. It's one I love playing, love watching. And right now HellRaisers are loving it as they lead 7-2. Pause being called in, and at this point it's definitely a tactical, you would say, for OpTic. Again, I don't have the exact info, but I have to imagine it's a tactical pause because this is so crucial for them to start picking up gun rounds at this point, and they are of course coming onto the buy now in this round. Yugi should get the op. It'll be up, and it'll only be with body armor rather if he wants to get it. But you'd imagine he will go for it just because of how much impact he can actually have on that weapon, and you can see indeed he does. Oh, that was meant to be a deep Molotov towards the steps, where right now HellRaisers are actually advancing forward from, so that Molotov would have been extremely useful. And that not connecting just gives HellRaisers the chance now. They're going to be able to push forward and get map control relatively early. Spotted that. I thought he definitely saw the head jumping over the smoke. Damn, that was dangerous. So much damage being done. Woxic actually spammed both players down to 17 health. The same amount of damage onto both, but didn't actually finish off either. So a good start for HellRaisers. OpTic not going to be happy with 2 of their A defenders being put into a position where they're barely hanging on to life. If I was the cough right now, it could be finished off. Who knows? I'm not going to risk it. There we go, Issa trying to pressure on B. I don't know if this is really needed. Again, they should have a good idea about the amount of damage that they've done and working together at this point. Probably a better idea. There's a good nade on the occasion as well, so damage just continues to go heavily in favor of HellRaisers to start this round off. 35 seconds remaining. Soon they are going to have to commit to a bomb site. And it looks like A is going to be their target. A bit of a fake towards B. Yugi, though, he has decided to hang around in the bathrooms. And goes ahead and actually finds the opening kill on Angel. So a man advantage being found for OpTic. But again, with 3 players heavily tagged up. And now the full attack coming in towards A. This is going to be tough. Yugi gets another. Woxic not going to expect for Config to be up close, sadly. And Config trades to the Op to continue finding the frags. Suddenly all on Issy. He doesn't have the time to get much done. And a great recovery in this round from OpTic. Oh, taken down. That's the Op at least he picked up for Issa. So he's going to try and run away with that. Problem is he may not be allowed. Because I believe that's Refresh coming up connector right now. Not going to find them though. So it is okay. A third round being found for OpTic. Surviving with 3. But they don't carry the Op over, so good work in the end there from Woxic to steal that away. Go another crucial round, of course. HellRaisers still have plenty of money left, so it's more so for OpTic not being able to afford to get reset. How does Issa find that second kill? Completely blinded, still gets the headshot on Cajun. And suddenly the B-bomb site looking extremely weak. Going to be snappy, I believe, to try and hold it down, but as you can see, Config not expecting Hobbit to be left on the lurk. And suddenly it is a 2v5. Snappy still alive for now. Getting done is the question. One comes in, but it was very shaky. He took a lot of damage, and that made him an easy target for Dead Fox. And then Woxic with the closing shot. As again, an instant reset comes in. OpTic's economy has been completely destroyed. Snappy and Refresh looking at a double eco. So this is a tough position for them to be in. Did they force buy? Did they take the eco? And then maybe come into the next round with a couple weaker weapons on Snappy and Refresh. And it looks like it probably will be the latter of the two decisions. Gonna go for the full eco here pretty much. Just 1p to 50. As I said though, if they do buy in this next round, Snappy and Refresh probably gonna have to go for the likes of SMGs, maybe just pistols. It should be a very easy round from HellRaisers. Oh, Yugi actually got a 5-7 eventually. I did not notice that. Maybe they can steal away a couple rifles. Problem is, at this point, damage not really that big of a deal, since HellRaisers do have a pretty decent economy built up. And also, of course, the fact that we're coming towards the end of this half, so I don't know if it'll really be an issue anytime soon. We're going to need 3 more rounds after this one. Bit of a spam to get some damage connected. Enough to actually allow for it to be Angel with a spam of his own to finish Refresh off. Once the aggression is indeed going to be caught. It was a decent dink, but kills just continue to go in favor of HellRaisers. And 5-on-3 now in play. It looks like the B commitment will come in. Still 2 players at least, but again, only pistols for them to try and hold this down. It's not going to be easy. One from Config, but forced back into the pit alongside Snappy. Low HP for Config, a USP for Snappy. It's, as I said, a tough position. So the fact that Config even gets 2 kills out of that, I think he'll be pretty happy with. An extra $600, of course, put into his bank, giving him a bit more utility in this round. So that is a big positive. No defuse can't play currently. Snappy, I was going to say, could pick one up. OpTic, Config rather, actually going to go for a glass cannon up, as does Cajun. This is strange. Yugi on the M4, of course. Cajun and Config going to keep the ops for themselves because they couldn't buy up Kevlar to trade them with Yugi for the rifle, rather. So it's interesting. Let's see how it's going to work out, though. Config, of course, a hyper-aggressive player. Not actually playing too aggressive with the op holding from long. But look at this, the door being open. That allows for Cajun to go ahead and take the open and peek. And does connect it onto Woxic. A good start into this round, at least being found for OpTic. And it seems like the first time in quite a while that they've actually started a round off well. But look at this for Missy. He should be able to trade. Finds one. Coming out the door as well. Too many angles for Cajun to actually hold on to. He gets taken down. And with that Snappy, he's forced to get aggressive. Pushing up through Monster. Might have a chance to try and pull this back. But they have left that B-bomb site open. And it seems like Issa is expecting perhaps for some aggression to have come in. He finds it with a quick headshot and a 4-on-2 now in play. HellRaisers, they pull this round right back in their favor, even after losing the first blood very early on. $20-4 for Issa currently. This man is on fire. And Dead Fox, as he takes that one, the round pretty much over. Config just going to try and save the op into the next one. But it is going to be already double digits for HellRaisers as they find 10 quite early on into this game. Config could actually run into Hobbit. I think he may be okay as long as he doesn't push forward himself. Hobbit, I believe, actually taking it towards Connector. So yeah, he's going to be okay. The time isn't going to allow for anyone to actually find them and drop the weapons. So Op carried over at least. Problem is, again, going to have to be the eco, as they likely are to concede an 11th round over towards HellRaisers. I'd like to see Config give this to Yugi, because, of course, Yugi, the primary opper. Config definitely capable himself, but you do want to be throwing that over to your opper and showing that you have the confidence in him. But he's going to just keep it for himself. Get body armor, I guess that's worthwhile. Yugi not wanting to really invest into this one, as of course he wants to try and get the op out in the next round, which is going to be a little bit of a struggle. I believe getting $2,400, meaning he can at least get a glass cannon. There we go, nice little run boost. Config trying to see if he can get info early on. He spots out that there's no one there, and that it is, I guess, somewhat info. They have gone for a bit of a B stack, though, so I guess relying on the fact that HellRaisers have been, for the past couple of rounds, at least again, back towards this B-bomb site quite often. Quick shot from Config. Takes down Issa, and that's a rifle that could potentially be retrieved if they were aware that no one's actually outside Monster, but they're just going to go for it. Snappy going to run out. Commitment in the meantime, coming towards A. Yugi steps it up for at least one kill. As Config now rotates in, the AWP in hands. Can he get anything done is the question. A bit of a gap in the smoke as he tries to actually go forward. Stops the bomb plant somehow. The fact that he found that kill is ridiculous. Woxic going to tap the bomb. He's not going to stick it though. He knew that there was someone up close. That baited Cajun out into the open. As now it's a 2v2. Both players actually coming from the flank. Long and short. Currently, HR not aware of that. And Hobbit very low on health. Could be in trouble. But as they take it towards the back, towards Bank rather, and take it down towards B, I was gonna say they should get that bomb plant quite easily, which they still should, because the smoke goes down. But OpTic, as you can see, they are aware of this, so already having rotated Snappy down, I was gonna say that could be a surprise. Refresh from behind, one bullet needed, gets it eventually, and now Woxic trying to force the issue. He's pushing up close in the smoke, knowing Snappy's on the other side of it, gets that kill, and takes over the control now in a position where he can play time on this bomb. With the molly going down, it gets even more difficult for Refresher, trying to push forward. Woxic is ready, just holding for it. And winning, they shut it down, 11-3. OpTic going to be coming into the buy in this round. I think they actually got $2,900 maybe, because they have 5,600. So, yeah, or rather, Yugi has 5,600. So he's able to get the op with body armor. But of course, even if OpTic do pick up this fourth round, letting 11 go to HellRaisers on the T side of Overpass is going to make things just so difficult for them as they head onto their own T side. It's going to have to be flawless and near perfection. HellRaisers again, just keeping things standard, going for the defaults, making the decision later on in the round about where they want to commit to, and just trying to feel out the way that the defense have actually set themselves up. Config playing close in the back rooms. Dead Fox and Woxic, if they double peek this, they should at least be able to find the trade. As you can see, the shoulder peek comes in initially. The repeat from Woxic would doubt the potential for the follow-up from Dead Fox, and Config just jumping around the corner finds a second. I do not know how Config is allowed to actually do that, but it works in his favor somehow. With that OpTic, a 5-on-3, the best they've looked in a round in quite a while. And potentially here, a fourth round for them to find, which is, of course, a must-need at this point. There's one kill being pulled back from Angel, though. Woxic and Issa right now are just on fire. 20-5, 19-7. It's been a lot for OpTic to deal with, and it still could be. It's Angel right now that's actually stepping up, and it's needed. The jump peek is interesting since he did hear the op shooting just a couple of seconds before towards Bank. And it gives himself up there to Yugi. And opening back into the round again for OpTic now as they do have a man advantage. Difficult afterplant going to be in play for Hobbit and Issa, but as you can see, willing to force the fight. Hobbit takes a quick headshot, spots Refresh on the steps and finds that one as well. And now it's all on Cajun. He's been spotted. Has to come in with a big 1v2. Currently no defuse kit, and he's been pushed down. Gets one, but it costs him a lot of health. I was going to say close on Issa, dropped him to 6. But eventually the finish comes in 12-3 rather at halftime in favor of HellRaisers, as Inferno at this point looking to be almost confirmed. Again, OpTic did win the first map. Don't know why it's showing the HellRaisers won it right now. I think it's just not swapped the start to the other side at halftime, which is strange. Hopefully it won't be too long until we're ready to get back into the action. A couple of moments for the players rather before they do ready up. Of course, guys, this second pistol round, as always, going to be very important, more so considering OpTic are down 12-3. Without picking that up, we'd likely see HellRaisers taking a 14-3 lead before OpTic find a buy, so it is much needed. Without it, this map pretty much over, and that would mean we head on to Inferno, of course, as a decider. What's happening? Oh, that was just halftime. We were waiting for them to ready up. Well, as you can see, that's happened now. It's Yugi and Snappy to grab some utility. Cajun not buying anything, surprisingly. I don't know if he didn't mean to do that. I'm going to guess that was a mistake, because that's just strange. But as we can see on the HellRaiser side, it's Dead Fox with a defuse kit and a couple of flashes. So let's see what's the plan for OpTic. As I said, they need to pick this pistol round up, otherwise this map is pretty much over and done with. There we go. Config does find the opening. Cajun going to get one onto Angel as well. And they managed to actually find both players who were pushed up on the mid position. There is actually two more, being Woxic and Issa, but they're going to be a little bit later now. They're actually attempting a flank, I believe. The question is, how long do they take? Because it looks like OpTic are going to commit straight to this B-bomb site right now. So they should be able to find the bomb plant quite easily. And of course, that leaves Dead Fox alone to hold B. Finds one, and actually Woxic now from behind should be able to get a kill as well. So this is beginning to unravel somewhat for OpTic. We've seen this happen so many times. Rounds that should be theirs beginning to fall apart. Cajun, without that Kevlar, this could cost them. You can see the aim punch, the body shot bringing them to 38. I think it was just a couple of them. As the P2000s and the USP is to look to try and come in for this retake. As I said, still a defuse kit in play. The flashes have also yet to be used. And they could be useful for Dead Fox, but actually he gets taken down quickly. That's the defuse kit dropped in a very awkward position. And it makes things difficult here for Issa and Woxic, even if Cajun B is on his own. See, they had to go retrieve that bomb, waste a bit more time doing so. But with the actual plant, it could be difficult for Cajun to stop it, but never mind, he gets it. Problem is the defuse kit wasn't picked up straight away by Woxic, meaning he doesn't have enough time to get that defuse in. He's going to go down. We get a nice little third-person view. Oh, now we get a different one from a different body. Don't know what's happening right there, but I like it. 12-4. OpTic do pick up that pistol round, even if it got a lot closer than they would have hoped for. In the end, they do get the round win. And a bit of an opportunity now to slowly build their way back into this game. We should see an eco from HellRaisers allowing for OpTic to find that 5th. Irish? Yeah, I am indeed from Ireland, man. we go, refresh. Mach 10 opened it up actually through the wood. A little bit of a wall bang onto Angel. Kevlar's opponents, you don't expect it to be too tough, of course, for OpTic in this round. And for their own sake, they should be finding it as cleanly as possible. Dead Fox trying to hide up close on the right. Elevating himself, sadly, not out of the view of refresh. That Molotov going to probably force Woxic into the open. I think he actually is okay for this for now. Will it spread, though, is the question. Oh, it might not be needed. The nade does so much damage. And Cajun B just sneaks in and finishes him off. This should be a fifth very easily for OpTic, as you can see. Go. Comes in. All 5 kills being found with ease, pretty much. 4 of them being on the Mach 10s as well, which is important for building up the economy for OpTic. As refresh found 3, and Snappy got one of his own. Here we go. Of course, HellRaisers able to come into this first gun round now with a relatively decent buy. Bit of a weakness with the FAMAS. Utility-wise, it could be better as well. And of course, they do lack the defuse kit. But they have a slightly better buy than that of OpTic. 2 Mach 10s being kept in play, of course, means we may see a faster play. That is definitely something that could be on the table for them. Problem for Angel being he doesn't have a helmet, meaning that those Mach 10s will still be very dangerous for him. Everyone else, though, has got the helmets. They realize there was SMGs in play, and they do keep things as safe as they can. Go OpTic preparing to move forward, being their target. Hobbit actually finds a very close kill on the Ogs, playing up close to the smoke. Bit of a wild spray, needs to be careful of showing his tracers off, but as we can see, it doesn't seem to be too big of a deal. Pretty quickly, this round has been pulled in favor of HellRaisers in a 4v2. It's Config and Yugi. They wanted to push into B, of course, but as their teammates all fell, a little bit of fear set in, and they decided to cancel that push. Right now, looking to see if they can try and actually find some openings, hoping mistakes would be made. But as you can see, Issa too quick on the M4. Nice little position, finds one. They're going to push down Yugi on short, and a very easy finish comes in. 13-5 for HellRaisers. As OpTic, they will actually find another buy here. Luckily enough, it's decent. They'll get all the rifles. They'll get the op out. But this could be one of the last full buys they actually are allowed if they aren't able to make this one work. I would like to have seen them calling a pause here, but not going to be going for it, sadly. This is online, right? Yeah, it is indeed online. The closed qualifier, the European one for IEM Sydney 2019. The NA one as well, going to be on again later tonight. That'll be on the ESL_CSGO B, if I remember correctly, so make sure to keep an eye on that as well if there's some fans of North American CS, rather. Already Woxic, he gets taken down, so a crucial opening for OpTic to be found. Angel sticking around on this. Oh, he needs to be careful. Actually gets a quick flick on the config. That's the bomb dropped. Gonna put a smoke down to stop it from being retrieved. And this gets dangerous. Why is the bomb pushing up short like that on its own? Oh, Yugi should get that kill eventually, yeah. Dangerous from Angel, but again, I guess he was a little bit worried that the players potentially were going to push out in a bathroom. But the issue was his teammates threw a Molotov down to stop that from happening. So a little bit strange. He just gifted a kill over. Gives a chance here for OpTic to come back into this round. But of course, they still do have to try and fight to get control of that bomb back. How it's the Sydney at 3 AM. It's an online qualifier. It's a qualifier for it. It is it's not in Sydney. Oh, hang on. Kills coming in though. Seems like the OpTic side are overall finding the success. It's only Hobbit that actually remains. Oh my god! A quick spray transfer out the refresh. Oh, tried to escape, but gets taken down sadly. If he didn't actually run away there, I think there was a good chance he would have won that out. Hobbit doing his best, but it wasn't enough in the end. OpTic find a 6th and do come in with a reset, so slowly but surely they're getting a bit of a lifeline in this game. How does that happen? The fact, you just have to think back to Angel jumping through that smoke. A very strange play. I guess feeling like he was pressured to make that play, but as I said, his teammates did throw a Molotov down in the bathroom so that he couldn't be pushed from the right side. He really only had to focus on the push through the smoke, but instead went for it himself. There we go, Hobbit. He's continuing on his form from that previous round. He does have Kevlar, he's got an opening kill, and by doing so, picked himself up an AK, making things a little bit difficult. Gonna actually throw that pistol over to Issa, as you can see. But yeah, 5-on-4 early on. Maybe a chance here for HellRaisers to perhaps come in with a reset yet again of their own. As OpTic begin to slowly move forward, inching their way towards that A-bomb site. It is currently only Angel and Issa that are actually going to be there to try and defend, having... Oh, actually, no, never mind. I didn't realize that Hobbit is actually there as well with the AK, because he's boosted up currently. But there we go. Jump peek from Issa, trying to find the info, ends up actually getting spotted out and taken down by the op of Yugi. And actually, with that info being found, OpTic, are they going to commit to A still is the question. They need to go soon, wherever they are going to commit towards. And yeah, going to bring it actually back down connector. A bit of a fake just being sold by Yugi, or at least attempting to be sold, which actually has been very successful. The rotation came in. HellRaisers took a gamble to stack up A. And as we can see, it has not worked out for them. OpTic are going to claim the control of B and get that bomb down. Oh, Roxic, hang on. Gets himself a UMP and a kill, of course. Trapped in the pit, though, going to be seemingly pushed down by two different players. Gets the dink onto Config. And actually, Trade's going to be found from heaven as well. This is still dangerous. This could maybe go in the way of HellRaisers. As I said, though, Snappy steps it up when it's needed. All onto Dead Fox now. Coming in on the long flank, only having a P2000. You do not fancy his chances. And you can see why. Snappy with a quad kill in that round. It is indeed going to be only 6 now in the difference. Question is, HellRaisers, I don't think they should buy into this one. Are they going to do it? Maybe, because they are HellRaisers. They like going for these mental buys, but I don't agree with it. Issa and Dead Fox sitting lower on money with the current lead that they have. I think the safer play would be to just have gone for maybe pistols and some body armor in this round, keep the damage up. But yeah, they've gone for it. They have an op, a couple FAMASs, and a couple AUGs. Could definitely be worse, but again, do lack that defuse kit. As we see a slower paced round overall from OpTic this time around. Leaving, I believe that is Config to hold for any aggression that may come in towards middle. And after initially getting the water control, it seems like they are going to slow it down. We do see, of course, a different way of control from HellRaisers this time around. They have a player up close on long, being Angel. They have Woxic on the up and bathroom so that he can watch to push in towards short. But of course, the push up through connector, if they were to go up short that way, would still be open for OpTic. It'd only be Hobbit down on the bomb side to try and actually hold it. So there is some weaknesses in the current defense, but it's overall a pretty decent setup. They've swapped things up. But let's see if that's going to be needed, because right now, with only 2 players on that B bomb site, that's where OpTic are grouped up and seemingly looking to try and push towards. Here we go. 28 seconds. They need to get a move on ASAP. Otherwise, time could become an issue that works against them. Here we go. Coming out Monster. They line up. Issa actually gets 3 on the FAMAS. A massive spray down comes in. Somehow trades come back for OpTic, but as we can see, it's getting very difficult for them. The bomb being left behind because of those 3 kills that came in, rather, puts the time down low. It allows for an op kill to be found. And Occasion has to try and stick the bomb, but with this flank from Angel, sure he gets the bomb plant. He will quickly be finished off afterwards, though. The fuse is going to be found, and a 14th round put onto the board for HellRaisers. 2 more to go. As this third map still looking quite likely, but OpTic, what can they do? Their buy not going to be great even with that bomb plant coming in, so a tough position. As I said, 14 for HellRaisers. OpTic, do they take the 1 eco and buy into the next round and try and take 8 in a row for overtime? Or do they go for the force buy? And it looks like the force buy is actually going to be what they go for, which is, at this point, I would say understandable, as it'd be such a long road for them to try and actually pull it back to overtime. Couple AKs at least for OpTic. It's not terrible. Could be much worse. An MP5, a Deagle, and a CZ as well. Alongside some utility. So smokes in play, a Molotov, and some flashes. This is where OpTic, any preparation they have on this map could definitely come in very handy. Nice flash from Yugi. Should allow for them to come up through connector. Indeed it will. No one nearby anyway, so they wouldn't have been really too open either way. Although, as I said, and of course the AUG of, I believe, that is Angel spamming away a little bit. They do also have the op setup from Woxic. He's just watching the short push-up, so a little bit of a swap again in the setup, but it's a tough position for Woxic. I was going to say he has to be cautious of the peak of the Vatrums. He does go down to that, but as you can see, Hobbit was able to return it, and towards B, Dead Fox around the corner of that smoke drops Refresh. They're not going to expect Angel up close. That's a free kill for him on towards Config, as the trades do go in favor of HellRaisers once again. All on Snappy and Yugi to try and save this round and potentially the game for OpTic as well. It's just not happening. There you go. Angel gets one more on the low HP player. Eventually gets taken down as third person for some reason goes on. But I don't think much else is going to be found. As you can see, Dead Fox ready from the truck with the AUG. My observing, not great, but it done the job. We saw the AUG come in, and it's 15-7 now. 8 rounds in the difference. As I said, OpTic, if they took the eco, they'd buy now into this round, but they'd have to take 8 in a row. So they went for the force bite. Problem is, when that force bite doesn't work out now, it means they still need to take 8 in a row, but they need to get the first of those 8 rounds with only pistols in their possession. So a very tough task. This should indeed be HellRaisers going ahead and taking that victory at 16-7 and sending it on to a third map in the series to start the day off. They're going to be grouping about side of B. Smoke fading pretty quickly does leave occasion B very open. Ooh, the flash is perfect actually. Refresh goes down. Hang on, these opening kills are coming in right now. This is doable. But as we can see, Hobbit's still ready on the AUG. He's going to be able to find a couple for himself. A Dink quickly found as well, but running low on ammo, it gets dangerous. The USB comes out. He continues to get the frags. Going to be actually denied one by Angel, so definitely not going to be the ace, but as you can see, the kill's still coming in. It's not a big deal. That is going to be the end of this map as HellRaisers take the victory on Overpass. Taking their own map choices. 16-8 back on Mirage for OpTic. 16-7 here on Overpass for HellRaisers. And of course, we do have Inferno coming up next, which should be an interesting one. It's always a good map to close out the series. It's always a good decider that does tend to go the way, and I'm hoping that we will see a bit of a closer map rather than the kind of one-sided affairs we have been seeing so far. But guys, we are going to go ahead and send it over to a quick break. Of course, I don't know how long it'll be. As soon as the player's ready up on the server, we will, of course, go live. I'm just going to be sitting here watching GoTV, waiting for them to ready up. So, yeah, I'm hoping they won't take too long. But when we come back, we will, of course, have Inferno. And if you're enjoying the stream, of course, make sure to hit that follow button. And also, you can check out my Twitter by typing !caster. Every follow does mean a lot to me.